Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the weight of life's challenges? Moments when the path ahead seems unclear, and no matter how hard you try, the solutions feel just out of reach. In times like these, what do we as Muslims turn to? Where do we find the strength to keep going? Today, let's embark on a journey together, a journey to uncover the power of Tawakkul. Not just as an abstract idea, but as a living, breathing part of our daily lives. Think about this when faced with difficulties. Do we hold tightly to our fears? Or do we let go and trust the one who holds the entire universe in his hands? What does it mean to truly place our trust in Allah while facing life's uncertainties? And how does Tawakkul bring light to even our darkest moments? Let's explore how Tawakkul can guide us through life's storms, not by taking away our challenges, but by giving us the strength to rise above them. Have you ever wondered how much control we truly have over our lives? We plan, we strive, we hope, yet, deep down, don't we all realize that outcomes are not in our hands? Today, let us walk through a profound concept together, Tawakkul, not just a word, but a way of life. The Quran, in Surah Ali Imran, verse 159, gently reminds us, "When you have resolved, place your trust in Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him." Have you ever asked yourself, when was the last time you truly relied on Allah? Not out of desperation, but out of love and faith. Tawakkul is not about sitting idle. It's about effort and trust, an unshakable belief that after we've done our part, the outcome is best left to Allah. Think about this when you work hard for something. Do you truly hand over the results to Him? Or do you secretly cling to the worry of failure? Imagine the peace that comes from knowing Allah is in control. When was the last time you felt that peace? What if you and I could carry that calm into every decision, every step, and every hardship? Tawakkul is like a child leaping into their parents' embrace. The child doesn't question, they just know they'll be caught. Can we approach life with that same trust? Look at the stars, each one is placed perfectly. Each one shines at the right time. What about us? Could it be that our lives, too, are set in motion by a wisdom far greater than we can comprehend? We walk through life like footprints in sand, leaving marks, yet knowing the wind and waves will reshape them. But isn't it comforting to know the one shaping those waves is the same one who loves us most? Have you ever felt the weight of the world pressing down on your heart? A restlessness you can't shake, a worry that keeps you up at night. Think for a moment, when was the last time you felt truly at peace? Not a fleeting moment of relief, but a deep calm that settled your heart. What if I told you that peace is within reach, if we learn to trust the one who holds all things in his hands? The Quran assures us, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him." Surah At-Talaq 3. What does it mean for Allah to be sufficient for you? Have you ever reflected on the power of those words? Tawakkul is not about avoiding life's struggles, it's about finding tranquility within them. It's about knowing, deep in your heart, that Allah is the best of helpers. Have you ever paused to feel that trust, to let it flow through your soul like a stream, steady and unshaken? Stress and anxiety often come when we try to control the uncontrollable. We plan, we strive, but the results, they're never really ours to command. Imagine if you could let go of that burden, just hand it over to the one who never falters, never errs. How much lighter would your heart feel? Have you ever noticed how much easier life feels when you stop resisting and start trusting? It's not about giving up, it's about letting go. Think about this. When was the last time you surrendered your worries to Allah and truly felt relief? Tawakkul is like a child gripping their parent's hand in a crowd. The child doesn't worry about the path ahead. They simply trust the hand that guides them. What if you could hold on to Allah like that, trusting Him to guide you through every twist and turn? Tawakkul is not just there by itself in our hearth. Indeed, Allah put faith in our hearth, but it is our duty to increase our tawakkul to Allah. There are many ways to increase our faith in Allah. How we can nurture our tawakkul, our trust in Allah. Not through grand gestures, but through small, intentional acts that bring us closer to Him. It begins with dua. When was the last time you poured your heart out to Allah? Not just in moments of despair, but in gratitude, in hope, in trust. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reminded us dua is the essence of worship. Think about this. If we truly believe Allah listens to every whisper of our hearts, how often do we turn to Him with our deepest concerns? And what about zikr? Have you ever noticed how the simple act of remembering Allah can calm your heart? Those who believe and whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 28. Let me ask you, what would happen if we made zikr a part of our daily lives? Could we find the solace we've been searching for? Then there's the Quran. It's not just a book. It's a guide, a light in the darkest of times. When was the last time you opened it? Not out of obligation, but out of longing, to seek answers, to find comfort. Think about this. What if the words of Allah could become your refuge, your source of strength? And lastly, what about our mindset? Husnuzan billah, having a good opinion of Allah. Do we truly believe that whatever happens in our lives, Allah has written it for our best? When was the last time you paused to trust His wisdom, even when the path seemed unclear? Imagine the peace that comes from knowing that Allah's plan is always better than ours. Strengthening our tawakkul isn't about changing our circumstances, it's about changing our hearts. Through dua, zikr, the Quran, and trusting Allah's wisdom, we cultivate a faith that carries us through life's storms. Have you ever faced a moment where life felt overwhelming? A time when no matter how hard you tried, the solution seemed just out of reach. What did you do in that moment? Did you panic? Did you despair? Or did you remember to place your trust in Allah? Think about this when challenges arise, whether it's financial difficulties, a broken relationship, or the uncertainty of tomorrow. How do you respond? Do you try to control everything, or do you pause and remind yourself that Allah, the All-Knowing, has already planned the best outcome for you? What would happen if, instead of struggling alone, you surrendered your burdens to Him? Imagine the peace that comes with knowing you don't have to figure everything out on your own, that Allah is always there, ready to help. Now, let's reflect on something many of us fear: losing what we hold dear. A job, a home, a possession we've worked so hard for. When that fear creeps in, do we remember that everything we have is a gift from Allah? That what He takes away, He can replace with something far greater. Think about this. What would happen if we shifted our focus from what we might lose to what we still have? Wouldn't that change everything? Allah is the sustainer, the provider, the one who gives and takes for reasons we might not always understand. What if, instead of clinging to what we think we need, we trusted Him to provide what's truly best for us? Every challenge we face, every loss we endure, is an opportunity to strengthen our tawakkul, to let go of fear and hold on to faith. What burdens are you carrying right now? What fears keep you awake at night? And how can you begin to trust Allah with those worries, one step at a time? Not because life is easy, but because with Allah, every hardship carries a hidden mercy. Let's choose trust over fear, faith over doubt, and tawakkul over control. Imagine this moment. Prophet Ibrahim, a man of unwavering faith, stands before a fire so immense, it seems inescapable. The people who oppose him are determined to punish him for his belief in the oneness of Allah. They want to destroy him. Prophet Ibrahim didn't run. He didn't waver. Instead, he made one of the most profound statements of faith ever recorded. Sufficient for us is Allah, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Surah Ali Imran 173. And then Allah commanded the fire to cool. What seemed like certain destruction became a moment of divine mercy. Prophet Ibrahim emerged unharmed, a testament to the power of tawakkul. Let me ask you this. How often do we trust Allah when faced with the fires of our own lives? Do we believe, as Ibrahim did, that Allah can turn our greatest fears into our greatest blessings? Tawakkul doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means moving forward despite it. Prophet Ibrahim teaches us that trusting Allah isn't just an act of faith, it's an act of courage. What about us? When life tests us, when the fire seems to close, do we hold on to Allah or do we let go? As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with one question. What does it mean for you, personally, to trust Allah in your life? Think about the struggles you're facing, the challenges that weigh on your heart. How often do you remind yourself that the same Creator who fashioned the skies and the earth is also the one guiding your every step? Tawakkul isn't just about trusting Allah in the big moments. It's about trusting Him in the small ones too. It's about finding peace in the middle of uncertainty and strength in the face of fear. So as you move forward, take this with you. You don't have to face life alone. You don't have to carry every burden by yourself. Allah is near, always near. And when you place your trust in Him, you're not just walking through life, you're walking toward peace, resilience, and a stronger connection with your Creator.